Hi, my name is Harley Hall, and I will be speaking about three different primary documents. There are many primary documents, but the three I chose are very important to our history. The first one will be the Constitution. It is the supreme law of the land in the United States. It was the nation's first constitution in 1789, written by James Madison, and 39 signed it. The Constitution is the National Archives Museum. Out of the 27 amendments, the First and Second Amendment are the most important because they are a part of the Bill of Rights. They protect the fundamental rights of coincience and the freedom to believe and express different ideas in different ways. The Constitution's purpose is to create a government with enough power to act on a national level. The main principles of the Constitution are checks and balances, federalism, limited government, and popular sovereignty, republicanism, and separation of powers. The Constitution has 4,400 words and is the oldest and shortest written constitution of any major government in the world. Back then, when the Constitution was written and published, the original founders didn't believe in equality, but the new founders wanted to make sure that all races have equality. The second primary document that I would like to talk about is the Declaration of Independence. Many political leaders signed the document, such as Thomas Jefferson and Samuel Adams, along with 54 other delegates. This document was a turning point in America, as the Declaration of Independence declared our freedom from Britain, although it left out the other important factors of society, such as slaves, women, Native American, and many other socio-economic groups that were often put down or forgotten about in political documentation. The Declaration of Independence made America free, although it didn't necessarily make America free. In America, we still withheld slavery for almost another 100 years before it was outlawed. Women's rights were still fought for many years leading into the 1920s, and still to this day, women's rights are still talked about and fought for in different forms, with one example being abortion. Native Americans were enslaved and murdered, such as examples as the Trail of Tears. Nowadays, we oftentimes find ourselves trying to preserve their history as much as possible through museums, relics, artifacts, and protected lands such as Indian reservations. During the war with Great Britain, America created the Articles of Confederation, which were a starting point to our Constitution. Although the Articles of Confederation were a good starting point, there were many problems with the Articles that needed to be revised. Two of the biggest issues with the Articles were that it created a weak central government, and it made America appear weak to the rest of the world. Congress needed to raise money to build more roads and bridges along with other infrastructure, although they couldn't raise enough money in taxes to do so. Along with that, Congress couldn't create an army or a navy and couldn't put down rebellions. At this time, America also needed to have a national judiciary to have a set of overall federal laws that can't be changed because states were different from federal laws. So it could be a law could be interpreted differently in another state. So someone might be tried for something in one state, although the law might kind of be a little revised and different in another state. So like the definition of, let's use racism. The definition of racism might mean one thing in one state, but might be slightly altered in another state. Sorry for my bad example. But America also needed a national judiciary to kind of have that overall like Supreme Court type style of government. Because one issue is when foreigners came to America and tried to sue, so foreign business people would try to sue, and they would lose in American courts most of the time, which was a sign that our judicial system needed some revising, and we needed an overall like national judiciary. Hard words to say. Last but not least, the Bill of Rights is the primary document of American history. The Bill of Rights was published in 1791 and was written by James Madison. It is the first of the 10 first 10 amendments of the Constitution. It guarantees civil rights and liberties to individuals like freedom of speech, press, and freedom of religion. The Bill of Rights was only to protect and limit the federal government, but the Supreme Court still has not decided if the entire Bill of Rights should always be applied at all levels of government. Women were second-class citizens, and essentially they were the property of their husbands. Women couldn't vote until the 1920s when the 19th Amendment was passed. The Bill of Rights is of utmost importance because these amendments guarantee essential rights and civil liberties such as freedom of speech, right to bear arms, and reserving the rights of the people of the states. America would be pretty bad if we couldn't freely say whatever we would like, along with being able to bear arms openly and other aspects of the amendments such as that. The Bill of Rights is of utmost importance because of this. It's the start of the 27 amendments in which we still use in America to this day to legally differ between rights.